Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today, nothing big as intro information, just as we can see, as forecasted yesterday, I've said we will go down, retrace, hitting again our current support of 108 related to DXY. And I think we are not done here. But it should, after such a rally, it should go down a little bit more. So it wouldn't surprise me to go to 107.4 or even to 107 before we can go up again, and that should give Bitcoin equities again a little bit more a push to the upside instead to the downside. But I mean, DXY is just a nice indicator because it's mostly a comparison between euro and US dollar. They are the main driver of DXY, and checking the situation, it makes sense that the DXY is lifting up, because also in my opinion, some people told me, yeah, you remember when we started to fall and we reached the level of parity, and many said, yeah, in a few weeks we will go up again. And I said, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the economy data is not indicating us that. And every currency is usually a performance indicator of the national economy. The US economy looks better than the European economy. That's fact. Okay, we have a big energy crisis in euro. I mean, even the US has also to fight against, but it looks better. It has a better and comfortable position instead of or compared to euro. So in my opinion, the euro will decline even more below their parity level in the future. However, for those who missed this information, in Cyprus, they found now 4.5 trillion cubic feet in gas. That can maybe be a little game changer for Europe, but that will take time. They just mentioned that yesterday, but nobody really talked about that. However, that's something we should also have in mind. That's absolutely interesting, but not right now. I would like just to tell a little bit why SPX, in my opinion, reacted like it reacted, because the price action, the recent price action, was, in my opinion, not directly, at least today, not directly correlated to the DXY. Today, for example, just 3 hours ago, they released the new home sales for last month. Previously, we had 585,000 new home sales. They forecasted for July 575,000, and they released 511,000. That's wow. I mean, a gap of more than 10%. That's really big and extremely bearish, of course, because new home sales is also partly an indicator of consumer behavior and investment behavior. Also here indicating it's declining. It's, the situation is changing. So also indicating that the US is in a transition to whatever. I mean, recession, or we will see what's going to happen. In my opinion, it matches very well to the recent development. Wednesday, so tomorrow, could be also a nice, interesting day. We have pending home sales, for example. They forecasted minus 4%. Previously, we had in June minus 8.6%. We need to see. We have core durable goods orders, also could be interesting, and crude oil inventories. However, for me, the most special and interesting days are going to be Thursday and Friday, and I would expect a bigger volatility coming Thursday and Friday. Why? ECB publishes account of monetary policy meeting. That could be also bring some volatility. 1 hour later, and that's the funny thing, the US is going to release the GDP for Q2. So we did previously minus 0.9%. They are forecasting now also minus 0.8%. We will see, because if the economy is growing negatively, that's now the wording that the Democrats in the US would like to hear, more than minus 0.8%, maybe minus 1%, or even minus or more than minus 1%. That could be a big challenge. At the same time, they will release the initial jobless claims. Also something that usually can bring some volatility to the market. But that's not it. We have Friday, and Friday is also going to be an exciting day. We will have the core PCE price index, also a nice indicator for inflation. 0.6% previously for June. They are forecasting now 0.3% just for July. Now just imagine if it's going to go up. That would be also something that bulls don't want to see. And 1.5 later, Fed Chair Powell speaks. So this week is going to be a candy box, and we will not know what we will have next in our hands. So that's it. As you see, this week is going to be extremely volatile, while at the same time we maintain a very low level. Bitcoin retested that trend line here now 4 times or 3 times after we reached that level of 20,800, and we failed to have a breakout. The question is, how many times bulls can really bring the Bitcoin price up so that they can avoid to have a breakout to the downside. We will see. We will see. It's going to be a very exciting day or exciting week. However, let us go forward and check what's happening to the weights ratio. Well, the weights ratio, after we had this 0.79 indicating 79%, that was very high, I have mentioned. Even the day after we had 72, also very big, and afterwards we had a price impact or an impact to the price. Like we had, for example, also here, we had here even less, weights ratio 63%, and also had an impact, but this one was really a big one and even higher than last time. Now weights ratio just 2 days ago lifted up again, but not that big anymore, so it did just 60, and yesterday 41, indicating we could lift up again a little bit, and I think that's what it's doing. If we check, for example, right now, and now it's going to be very exciting, because we remember we received $3.6 billion in stablecoins to derivative exchanges. They now withdrew almost the half. That's crazy. So it seems someone did a huge bet for this dump. That's really crazy. Never have seen such kinds in the last year since I'm analyzing crypto, to be honest. That's really huge. While stablecoin supply is declining even more. And that's another problem. The market is shrinking. In my opinion, the market, but it's a process, and that's something we need to understand. It's not only down, 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 down. Even the whole environment looks extremely bearish, but you are not going to sell the bottom. At least those with big bags are not going to do that. So they will use fake rallies, they will use any kind of ways to sell even more. And we will check FTX, for example, because FTX CBD is declining even more. With every fake rally, they are distributing more. And that's the matter and the way how they are distributing. Big pain for the retailers. Big, well, yeah, a big thing for them. The Wales ratio 30 hours moving average, lifted up, declined, lifted up, it's declining. So also here, I would expect, like it did here, I would expect now just to go a little bit more up. I don't know how far it will go, but we need to be careful. You know I'm bearish, but I'm not dumb. I don't have a nice feeling, to be honest. So nice feeling, I'm not sure if we are going from here going to retest our current lows. As you know, I'm not expecting, even I think 11,000 could be our bottom in the future. I don't think we are going to make this year. We will see maybe in the second half of 2023 or even 2024. I really don't know yet. But in my opinion, we will go up again. So we can maybe make another retest of 20. We can go even more, like a bear trap, for example, to go down to make 20k and then go up. That would at least explain why Coinbase and so on are removing some volume at orders in that area. We will take a look to that today. All right, but that's it. And as you see at the moment, Wales ratio 1 hour time frame indicating 80, also giving us an indication that they want to let the price go up again. That's it. 12 minutes. Jesus. Okay. But I will make a quick one for the next chapters. So what we see here, for example, we received yesterday almost 3,400 bitcoins, and that was the biggest one. A few hours later, we received, let me check. Well, wait. Okay, that's pain that you never see how many, if that's billions, millions, or just thousands. Almost 70 millions to the spot market in stablecoins. We also know they can use stablecoins to buy any kind of assets on exchanges, not necessarily just to buy Bitcoin, but 70 millions. After that, absolutely nothing. 12 millions here, almost 68 millions in stablecoins withdrawal afterwards, related to spot. So nothing big, even here, no big inflows coming in. 1,000 2 hours ago, peanuts. Also here, outflows correlates at least with this inflows, 3,400 inflows, 4,000 bitcoins outflows. That's it. So nothing big here. Let us go forward. So here we go. We see what's happening. I mean, you remember funding rate declining, funding rate lifting up. It looks like it wants to decline, but it's just a little bit. However, that's the trend. The trend is upward. At the same time, open interest maintains very low. I mean, after we came from here, we liquidated a lot of people, and afterwards it maintains that level, so not that big anymore. If we check, for example, the leverage ratio, you know, I mean, it's indicating, and I mean, even I don't like to trade with high leverage, but at the moment that's what I'm doing. I'm really trading with high leverage. I mean, for me, high leverage, it's 20-25 for Bitcoin, just because I don't want to use high volume anymore. And that's the thing. So I need an alternative, an option. The option is to take leverage, but in that case, you need a strategy that gives you the opportunity to survive this market, because otherwise they will wreck you very quick. Well, if we check, for example, stablecoins, as mentioned, you remember that here, 3.6 billions just before, just before, that was 2 days before we dumped very hard, and now they are withdrawing almost 1.9 billion US dollars in stablecoins from derivative exchanges. So it seems, and it wouldn't surprise me, because we are talking here about 3.6 billion US dollars. I mean, that's not peanuts anymore. I never have seen such a big trade related to derivative exchanges and centralized exchanges, to be honest, because on CME it's possible that a hedge fund, for example, is making a 1 billion trade, for example, but on centralized exchanges I don't remember when I have seen such a big trade, such a big volume, and now they are withdrawing 1.9 billion, indicating they are still playing. So the question is up or down. While the funding rate was declining, now it's lifting up. So be careful. Be very careful. You know I'm bearish, but as mentioned, I'm bearish but not dumb. So we need to be extremely, extremely careful here what we are going to trade. Related to Bitcoins, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't see any big volume here anymore. I mean, we had here 3,000 Bitcoins outflow, at the same time 1,700 Bitcoins inflow, and that's it. So really absolutely nothing. If we go forward and we check now blockchain whispers, let us go here. Let us check the 1 hour time frame, because that's the most interesting part. Even we can take the daily one, also very interesting. So we remember what happened. Open interest was very high and we declined, and that's what the open interest did. Then open interest lifted up, the same with the price. Afterwards, we declined, we dumped. That's what it did. Now, is open interest lifting up again, or it lifted up again? That's what the price also did. Open interest declined because the price dumped. They liquidated a lot of people. So, I mean, every time when they are doing that, that's money, that's cash, that's a cash machine, that's the exchange cash cow in the crypto winter. So, I mean, we are relatively high in open interest compared, but my expectations will go maybe more up to generate more open interest, and depends if we are getting more longs or shorts, and they will start to wreck them again. So if they are going to see that more shorts are coming in, so I could expect to maintain the current price action a little bit, or at least a trade range, just to accumulate some shorts and then make a huge step or a huge leg to the upside to liquidate them. At the moment, we will see, but I don't think that's happening at the moment. Still, retailers are too bullish. So now we go to blockchain whispers. And why I'm checking blockchain whispers is because it's one-to-one the information that Binance is providing. You can have access to these informations directly on the Binance web page, but also via API, and that's something they are using. If you see, shorts are lifting up a little bit, longs are declining a little bit. Still too bearish, 62 to 38 in my opinion, still too bearish. Still, traders are still expecting we will go up. Open interest indicating, and that's the open interest of Binance with a long short ratio, so multiplicated with a long short ratio, and that's why blockchain whispers is making this data here. it's indicating, in my opinion, they will go, at least they will try to react more longs. They will not let them to go with them. On Ethereum, it looks different. I mean, 53 to 47, it's absolutely okay. It's stabilizing at the moment, but Bitcoin looks extremely bearish in my opinion. Let us check what the Kingfisher is indicating. Let us start with Binance here, but I also think nothing big has changed here. No, nothing has changed. So we still have this big cluster here. Let us, like we did in the past, we can do that. So we have here a big cluster at 24K, and that's our current price. And we have here a cluster for longs, but that's not big at all. Even here, for example, it's absolutely not big. If we check, for example, the volume lifted up, so big shorts coming in. Remember, we still have 1.7 billion US dollars in stablecoins on derivative exchanges. So we need to see. Let us check FTX. The only thing that if they want to use those 1.7 billion US dollars in stablecoins while the funding rate is lifting up, usually I would say they are placing longs, but so it correlates very well. I mean, yeah, 50 millions FTX, 70 millions Binance. Wow, that's not a big gap. So we will see. We need to be careful because I don't trust the market, as you know, at the moment. It's much more, it seems they're just hunting retailers or hunting future positions at the moment. That's how it feels like. Okay, let us go forward. So let us see what, or maybe trying to figure out who is driving the markets at the moment. Well, FTX, as mentioned just today in my tweet, it was just saying, thank you very much for pumping the market so I can distribute to a higher price. But they didn't push the price up. It was mainly a nice opportunity for them just to distribute even more. And that's why the CBD is declining more and more and more. I mean, they declined since August 18th. That's crazy. 8,000 Bitcoins in CBD. So volume delta, the cumulative volume delta, indicating the volume delta was extremely negative and indicating distribution, while the aggregated one is lifting up, indicating at the same time 8,000 Bitcoins. So while FTX, only FTX declined at the same time by 8,000 Bitcoins, the aggregated one lifted up by 8,000 Bitcoins. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Well, as you can see, everything else is also lifting up. So we have here Binance. Let us take a look to Binance. 18th, we said. Let us take a look. That would be 18th. Binance, you can see, declined. It's now, I would say, lifting up. Not big, but it correlates with the aggregated one. It correlates with the Bitcoin margin contracts. It correlates with the stablecoin margin contracts. So everything fine here, and it seems one of the market drivers. Let us take a look what Bitfinex is doing. Also here, let us take a look. 18th, we are here. So look, we went down and they started to buy. It seems, at least. Not big at all. I mean, they did here CBD of almost 2,000. It declined a little bit, then it lifted up, and it maintains its level right now. So they are not the market drivers at all. If we check, for example, Coinbase, well, those who know my daily analysis know what's going to show us, of course. Look. And we know that BlackRock is using now Coinbase, right? Look, that's what I would call weak, strong hands absorb from weak hands. That's what they are doing. Crazy, isn't it? I mean, not that big. It's not huge at all. I mean, they did here almost 4,000 bitcoins in CBD, indicating they are more buying than selling. We don't know how much they are buying, but that's not new. I mean, Coinbase is doing that since a while. They are just pushing, pushing, pushing. But the main driver here is Binance, and Binance at the moment is right now more on the buy side. And we will see. We need to be very careful because we also know that market makers are using Binance because of the liquidity. Let us take a look, for example, now to the entities. Retailers buying, shrimps buying. These guys here buying. So wallets with 10 to 100 bitcoins. I would call them, I don't know how to call them. Absolutely not the best guys, but not that bad. So it's not dump money, to be honest. But these guys are not the best in trade behavior. And we have these guys not doing anything. They are not accumulating. Market makers not doing anything. They declined even more the balances. I am really still waiting that the market makers show any kind of accumulation signal. And I'm missing it. I'm really still missing it. It's not happening, and that is really crazy. That's really crazy. So I think we need just more patience. Also here, declining, we know 80% of these entities are linked to exchanges, not happening here anything. So the question is how, I mean, no bull run, absolutely no bull run, otherwise these guys would accumulate, in my opinion, like they did just last summer, for example. But they are not expecting, they are not preparing any bull run. So to go up, to sell upper levels, to go down afterwards, it's possible. We remember October, final of October, some option traders expecting until end of October we can make new lows. Not to 10, 11, 12, but new lows, somewhere between 15 and 16,000, for example. That would be possible, or even 16,000. So yeah, would also match. We need to see. We can check here. Market maker not doing nothing at the moment, and I would say we can go directly to miners. Also miners declined. Also here not indicating anything at the moment. OTC currently very active, and if we check, for example, look, matches to the peak, to the tops. Do you see that? Let us make that bigger, and you will see that on a better way. What do you think are these guys doing? Yeah, exactly. They are not buying. I don't think they are buying the tops. So yeah, they are selling because the fund flow is just related to Bitcoin fund flow. They are selling. So it seems OTC is selling at the moment, buying, selling, but mostly selling at the moment, preparing here, for example, the next dump. And yeah, it's, well, what should I say? While centralized exchanges, you can see here we have sequences where they are very active and then down. That matches very well to the sex activity because it's declining very hard. Very hard. We are still in that level here, and last year, for example, last summer, we were here. So look, the difference. That's really a crypto winter. That's really a crypto winter, even on derivative exchanges. If we were here last year, now we are here. So not that big gap between last year and this year compared to spot, but it's obvious, isn't it? And that's it. That's absolutely it. Let us go forward. So Coinbase, I told you about Coinbase. Let me change a little bit here. The chart. You can see Coinbase. Wow, take a look. Look that. That's crazy, isn't it? A lot of buy orders. And the most interesting part is that they reduced a lot these orders here at 20,500. And it seems they are waiting at 20K. So that's why I said it's possible to go down to 20K. It would be like a bear trap and then go up. So we need to be extremely, extremely, extremely careful. While they remove this wall, this upper wall, the next one will be at 25K. So we really need to be extremely careful, because it seems they were expecting a bigger dump here, and yeah, they lifted then up, but in that way they are expecting something, in my opinion. So it wouldn't surprise me to go after such a bear trap to go up again, but you know, we need to see. Deribit also here, remove the wall at 23. Yeah, 23. So the next wall, we still have here a cluster of walls at 27. Bitstamp, nothing. Binance Spot, well, I can take this out. Reduce their wall here at 24,525 at the moment. They didn't remove but declined a lot in volume, placed a new wall at 27 and still waiting here at almost 30K. And they still waiting here at 20K. Also here, for example, they reinforce their walls only if they see that the price is declining, like they did here, like it did here. So at the moment, very low at the moment, as you can see. They are trying here between 20,500 and 21. They have just introduced a bigger cluster. Now you can see that better, a bigger cluster. So yeah, we need to be extremely careful. While at the moment they are here at 21,800. That's why I said to you, be very careful with this rally, because it was very aggressively, very aggressive and at the same time I was noticing walls at on Coinbase, for example, but those walls disappeared, so they triggered the sell order, and they still waiting at 21,800, and a lot of walls here as well. They reduced the volume at 22K, and even here it seems at 22,200. So the next bigger wall will be then at 25K again. Also at 20,500 as mentioned, not really big, and then we have here another cluster at 20,000. Bitfinex Spot, nothing to the upside, not really, and the next wall would be at 20K. But at the moment, not doing anything, just pushing a little bit the price up, but that's it. So a little bit here, 20,800, but nothing big. FTX Perp. FTX perp at 22,800, and look here, also very interesting. I think that's spoofing, but not sure, between 23 and 23,200 at the same time at 20,500 and 20,000, well, 99. They just, as you can see, they placed a new wall here, and that's it mainly. A lot of activity in that area here. Kraken spot only limiting the downside at 19.5. Bitmax waiting at 23,700. Nothing to the downside. Binance futures. They were limiting the way up, but it seems they didn't trigger this wall, because usually it should go to 21,500 and we didn't. So it seems, I think, oh no, yes, I think so. I don't know what they are doing at the moment. Reducing the wall. It was 1,800 Bitcoin. I mean, that's per Binance per, but reducing it, let me check if I'm right or wrong. Oh no, okay, I'm wrong. So they absorbed this wall, it seems. And it wouldn't surprise me afterwards to go down. However, we have another one at 21,800 and 22k. The next bigger to the downside, 20,300. So careful, careful. Look at that. They want to maintain that level here. That's obvious. That's what they want. Crazy, isn't it? What a market. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing, just still at 18.5 waiting. Kraken futures. Wow, what happened here? Okay, crazy. They shorted a lot, it seems. Wow. They shorted like hell. That's crazy. And FTX spot. FTX spot, no. Nothing big here. So that's it.